Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today we're back again with another Alliance War video. It's up against for Loki. However, it is still off season, therefore neither of the sides really took this too serious. So we're gonna see most of the defenders with suicide masteries. We're not gonna be boosting ourselves, and I'm flexing Night Rusher, Warlock and Nick Fury for this Alliance War. So first fight on path 7, it's the breakthrough node, and we turned out to have Morningstar on there, and I went in with Warlock just because Warlock kind of generically doesn't have too many bad matchups and he's really fun to play. So as we can see, we have absolutely no trouble with this Morningstar as well because we are bleed immune, so we don't have to worry about that. Plus she has suicides on, so that's ticking away, and our infections are heal blocking her, and then breakthrough obviously does increase my damage as time goes by, and the fight is pretty much over after my first level 2. Just one more hit to finish off the fight, and yeah, so fairly easy fight. Shout out to all the 4 Loki guys. And now we're going to be up against Dap the Great. I believe he also has a YouTube channel. So what's up? And we can see that there is a counter to it. So I figured, would they put another Morningstar on it? Probably not. But turns out to be MODOK with Masochism, which isn't kind of like the perfect matchup. Had I known that, I probably should have just brought in Night Rusher because he can completely ignore the auto block altogether. But overall, it's a MODOK that we can stun if we shrug off Masochism, so it shouldn't be too much of a trouble there. Once we get our infections going, we should be good as well. Now, unfortunately, I do eat a heavy attack there, which is a silly mistake by me. However, I remember that I do have these bleeds on my heavy attack, so they should be helping me out with my damage output a bit. We're dropping our level 2. Armor breaks on this MODOK, another nice big heavy attack. We had a cheeky play there and repeated that once again. Now I just dropped another combo on the MODOK, and yeah, he went down. So a fairly easy fight, a bit sloppy on my side, but nothing kind of like too serious. And that will be it for my initial action in the war before I would go to sleep. And then we're gonna wake up in next morning and see what's left in section 2. I initially did think for a minute maybe I should take this guy linked, but no, I opted against it because I saw that the void on the mid lane was getting cleared, so I checked what kind of nodes that are remaining. But yeah, in the end, I just decided to leave for my teammates or get to it myself in the morning when there are no links active. But however, we do see that stealth Spider-Man mini boss over there, and it has been kindly left to us from Taters, and so I do decide to flex out my Night Rusher in this fight, just because Night Rusher can completely bypass all the evade mechanics, and it's aggression fury node, nothing too kind of tricky so long as we can get hits into him on a fairly regular basis. Yeah, basically Night Rusher is kind of really cool for this fight, just because we know for a fact that so long as I stick to my skateboard hits, he cannot evade. I'm totally safe, and that should be quite an easy win over there. I get also lucky with my taunt debuff being applied relatively quickly. Now I do bait out his level 1, then again I can go in and punish it without worrying much about anything else in that fight. Now we do get the incinerate, so second debuff is on, plus the suicide damage he's taking. I'm slowly starting to build furies. We have absolutely nothing to worry in this fight. It's going pretty much perfect. It's a really good matchup for Night Rusher as well. Now I do make a small mistake. I did throw my light hit over there, but it didn't really cost us anything much. And now, even though our debuffs expired, we still had 10 furies on us, so we were doing some really solid damage. Now, Night Rusher isn't the perfect champion to use his suicide masteries, but for a couple of fights, why not? And now we're moving on further to section 2, and I'm going to be going on path 6 for this one, just to deal with that dreaming Mr. Sinister. And we have Warlock though. Warlock is half dead, but I figured we should have more than enough health to deal with this guy, because Mr. Sinister is pretty much perfect matchup for our Warlock. However, immediately from the start I do forget about that limited immunity, and I figured he is going to be parry stand, and he wasn't, and he did manage to get like almost a full combo. So at this point I'm fairly low on health and I should start getting a bit worried. However, still, at the end of the day, it's Mr. Sinister. There's nothing kind of too tricky so long as he's heal blocked, especially against Warlock. He's going to be losing a bunch of power as well. The one difference that I will make in this fight, instead of dropping my level 2, I will simply go for my level 3 instead, thus draining his power and regening some health myself and avoiding recall damage. Not too often I get to use this special attack, so I might as well do it now where it actually serves a quite good purpose to regenerate a tiny bit of health back for me and yeah, not eat that recall. However, it did do some decent damage for sure, and now we are also power burning the guy for quite a bit, so that's also awesome. To be careful and make sure he does not launch his level 2, I did stay in my block and did block full combo. However, a couple hits after that and the fight is over. So a silly mistake at the first, however, we did survive that and then it was fairly smooth fight from there on out. And now we have Crossbones on no retreat node. Even though Crossbones isn't like overly great matchup for Nick Fury, just because he can shrug off all of those bleeds and convert them into Fury and whatnot. And no retreat, well, Nick Fury doesn't have anything special for that either, but what he does have is like a double health pool and a full life, so we're going in with Nick Fury. So the plan here was pretty simple, kind of like eat some level 2 damage in block if I have to, or get some no retreat damage if I can't bait out any special attacks. But overall, I'm just going to try and stay as aggressive as I can, push him past 1 bar of power, 2 bars of power, don't worry about it too much. If the fight gets kind of dicey, I can also push him to level 3 and I'll still regenerate. So we got all of that extra health pool going for us, and with suicides, even a real Nick Fury still is doing some decent enough damage to deal with this guy. As we can see, 50 seconds in the fight, he's already at 15% health and draining away slowly. I'm just gonna block bait a heavy attack, punish that with a full combo, and 41 hits, Crossbones goes down. Yes, I did lose some health, but it's Nick Fury, who cares kind of thing. And yeah, so now then I can see that that Corvus is still linked, and next I checked, Corvus was down, however Domino was left for me, and for that I did heal up Warlock before I started recording this part of the war, just because it's Domino, those crit fails do some sort of damage and she has her evade, so anything can happen. Didn't heal it fully, I didn't use any boosts, but I did drop some potions into my Warlock. And here, just for the sake of it, I'm also trying to drop some of my heavy attacks, just with an idea in my head that can give her some extra power as well if she shrugs off those bleeds, and that means she's going to be dropping more special attacks and eating more recoil damage, so I'm going to help her kill herself kind of thing. And if she does not shrug off my heavy bleed, then yay, it's bleed on her, so it's kind of like a win-win situation whether she does or doesn't shrug these off. Now I'm dropping my level 2, however obviously the damage is capped by safeguard node that we have here, but still she is going down fairly steadily, eating all that suicide damage because she's also heal blocked at the same time because of my infections. And yeah, so overall quite a easy time, largely thanks to the suicide masteries, and that is exactly also the way she drops down dead. So yeah, that fight was made a lot easier by suicide masteries. Now I see that there's only one mini boss left and boss, so I kind of decide that it's perfect for me. I'll just sneak in there. And so there we go. I'm gonna use Night Rusher for this fight. Not that he's perfect of a matchup against this Thor Ragnarok on Kinetic Reactor, Limber, whatever node, but just because he had more health left and I didn't feel like changing my masteries anyway, so I did want to make sure Nick is still alive before we enter the boss fight. And yeah, so the idea is, as always, get some debuffs on this guy and drop a heavy attack, start taunting him, and with that we also gonna gain the furies and gain more damage. So here I was trying to be cheeky and drop a heavy attack. However, I ended up getting parried at 14% of the health. So at this point I was like, I'm probably dead. But once again, suicides. Since 4 Loki guys are so nice to me and all of these champions have suicide masteries on, I just figured that I can make him recall himself to death while dealing some amount of damage. Obviously, we did have to deal with this power gain. He gets a 20 hits. However, he did throw his special attack in time, so we did not get L3 in the face. And at this point, he's just dropping his special attacks, eating that recall damage. I'm helping him out a bit without taking too many risks and finishing the fight out fairly easily. So yeah, that was not good fighting at all, but luckily enough we managed to get out of it alive. And now the boss action, Nick Fury against Invisible, is perfect. However, there must be something in there, because this fight is gonna go as dodgy as they come, and it's gonna be a bit silly. So anyways, the start of the fight is as always. I'm just trying to build some power. At the same time, I don't mind if I get hit, so I ate that level 1 on purpose to die, because I was past the bar of power. Now I'm dropping my level 1, so it means at this point I cannot be evaded or miss anymore, so I can pretty much ignore the dodge global node. I can also ignore her invisibility, and we're dealing all that crazy amount of damage. We're dropping another level 1 to go completely unblockable, and everything's perfect. So 40 seconds in the fight, and she throws her level 1, we do away that, we punish it, and we're just beautiful. So at this point, however, I'm going a bit brain dead. I'm trying to bait out her level 1, which she doesn't really want to throw, and I will make a silly slip up here. I eat a combo, I'm left at like 1 HP, and I'm gonna take a hit in a block in a second and basically pass away. So this was the first time I actually died to Invisible Woman boss, but I still figured I'd upload it, just because why not? It's an off-season award, it wasn't anything too serious. And then I went in back again with Warlock and got my face beaten afterwards in off-screen as well. So it was a bit of a goof towards the end of the war. However, the war was already settled. We won the war quite convincingly, so there was no reason to kind of take it too serious towards the end. I also didn't boost for the boss. But anyways, guys, that will do for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the buttons, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya!